Ever sat through a retro and thought, what's actually changed here? Today I'm going to show you how to run retros that actually drive improvements where teams walk out with energy, clarity and real action. So first let's talk about why most retrospectives fall flat. Often they become complaint sessions, team vent without change, nobody follows up on action items and they default to the blame culture, fixating on blockers, ignoring wins. Eventually it just feels pointless. I work with teams who have admitted that they've mentally just checked out for tending because the retros feel like such a waste. It's sad, but it's all too common. So how do we fix that? Here's 5 traps and how to avoid each one. Trap number 1, not preparing properly. No pre-collected facts, no agenda. The retros become loose and unfocused. How to avoid this trap? Bring the sprint metrics, bring the data, launch the discussion from objective anchors. The team will hit issues grounded in reality. All right, trap number 2, dominance of the strongest voices. In many retros, discussion is steered by the loudest team members, sometimes unintentionally. Quiet people just shut down. How to avoid this trap? Begin with silent input or small group clustering and then sharing those insights. This ensures that all voices are heard. Trap number 3, actions don't get done. If the previous retro's improvement items are never reviewed or assigned, they vanish. You need to fix this by making the actions smart, specific, measurable, have owners, have timelines. Review them at the start of the next retro to keep that accountability alive. Trap number 4, too many actions. Teams generate a long list of improvements, but they accomplish nothing. This overloads and blocks any momentum. The remedy to this is limit it to 3 actions per sprint maximum. Make sure that the team can reasonably commit to those actions. And number 5, only focusing on the negatives. Retros then just become a venting zone instead of a zone for growth. To avoid this trap, invite the team to surface what worked alongside what needs fixing. Celebrating the success balances that perspective, keeps that morale up. So those are the 5 traps to avoid when you're running a retro. If you don't avoid these traps, then retros become empty rituals. People stop attending, improvement stall, and trust degrades. Psychological safety evaporates, collaboration suffers, and frustrations mount. And research confirms this, that retros must combine accountability, structure, and positivity to become a real improvement engine. All right, so those were the traps. Now let's look at how to structure an effective retro that lands with impact. Number 1, begin by reviewing the last retro's actions. Did they happen? Did they help? That signals accountability right from the start. Next, present objective data, your velocity trends, your cycle time, your block tickets, your bug counts, even team health surveys. These facts will ground the conversation. Then choose a format, be creative. Don't just talk about what went well and what could be improved. Set it within a context. Start, stop, continue. Mad, sad, glad will give you a nice emotional check-in. Use a metaphor like a speedboat or a starfish. You need to be creative with your format so you can spark discussion and keep the team interested. To avoid those loud voices dominating the group, you need to encourage insight generation from everyone. Use silent clustering. Use dot voting. Gather input. Avoid dominance and keep those time boxes tight. Then what you do is you pick 3 actionable items and you assign them to a particular person and you time bound them. Make sure that they're realistic and that the team can achieve. And then you finish on a high note, a success story from the sprint. Someone stepping up, someone solving a tricky issue, someone driving collaboration. Celebrate those wins. It reaffirms what's working and really energizes the team. Research supports all these practices. 2025 study found that most teams don't use project data during retros. And when you bring real data, teams don't just talk, they learn. They identify that social debt, that communication breakdown, the process gaps, the cultural blockers, and they create measurable improvements. Other studies show that retrospective format that rotate and include emotional and outcome-based frameworks lead to a higher team alignment and action completion. What you can do as well as a Scrum Master is measure retro effectiveness. How many actions did you get through in each sprint? Do the same issues persist throughout sessions? Are the team health scores improving or stuck? If the actions don't happen or the same blockers appear, it's not the team, it's your retro design. You need to understand that retros are not just meetings, they're team improvement engines, but only if delivered thoughtfully. When you give people a voice, when you give people a safe room, when you ground that discussion in data and you structure it for action and you follow through, that's when retros create real change, not just a cathartic vent. Thanks for listening. Run the retros using this format and notice what happens. You might find that your team is shipping faster, working smarter, and actually looking forward to retros again. Let me know how it goes. Drop a comment and a message with your experiences. Make sure you press subscribe and check out this video to understand how progress beats perfection every time. Thanks for listening.